Hold on, hold on a second. See, I told you, only a second. All right. Um, I have this on because, well, there's some people around here, so I put it on for protection. Um, and also, I have it on because uh, my teeth were extracted too. Okay, so I want to flash a nice smile, right? Wait till I get my new dentures. All right. In the meantime, let me just do this. And also, yeah, um, I accidentally um, hit one part of the eye there, somewhere there, with my forefinger when I was trying to catch a culprit. You know, I thought it was an ant. It must have been a bug or something smaller than an ant. But it was night. It was pitch dark because it was about what, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the morning in my room, and I was asleep. So instinctively, I tried to catch the culprit, but hit my eye instead, so it became red. All right, so now look what I have. This is what the doctor prescribed. It's not serious, so all I gotta do is this. Okay, warm. This is not too hot, just warm. There, to ease the redness, which has eased some from some 4 days ago. All right, so the doctor said nothing to worry about. All right, there you are. I'll do this again later, 4 times a day. Okay, for 7 days. All right, now let's try this, and then we'll get into the news. The purpose of this blog is, which I call uh, Mukhamo. It's spelled Mookhamo. Sounds foreign. Well, it's actually a sound alike of a Filipino phrase, which means your image or your face, your image. All right, but it sounds mukha mo. All right, that's the name of this blog. Well, the purpose of this is to highlight certain people who make the news, those who hug the headlines, people, events, and places. For today, we'll look into what's happening in Russia, uh, Ukraine, uh, what's up with Putin, Zelensky, Biden, right? And why is Germany so acting so uniquely towards Russia, right? In a different sort of way. And then also, what is the impact of the Russian advance in Ukraine. All right. And people's reaction to the Russian cause, yeah, around the world. And there's a story about a Russian soldier texting his mom. I'll tell you more about it later in a short while. All right. And about the heroic um, and courageous defense by citizens of Ukraine. A grandfather, an 80-year-old man, joined the military, and women grabbed their own weapons, whatever sort they may be. Could be kitchen utensils for defense. All right. Uh, Also, the fleeing of hundreds of thousands of Ukrainians out of Ukraine, out of Kiev, towards Poland, and others have already reached Poland. Yeah. All right. Now let's get this over with. Well, it's done. All right. Now, of course, what's up in the world today? First, the good news. There's a report that says talks are being arranged between Russia and uh, Ukraine. So representatives from both sides are going to attend the talks. In the meantime, Putin set certain requirements. He has certain demands for the talks to get underway. And naturally, it looks like he has the upper hand. In the meantime, also, reports said that he has sent reinforcements. With all the damage that Russia has done in Ukraine and the destruction of airports and military installations uh, of Ukraine, Russia still sent reinforcements. All right. Uh, and this is on the heels of what, some 3 days ago or so, 4 days maybe, a statement by Vladimir Putin that he has uh, still the option to use nuclear weapons, right? That it could be a nuclear war. But of course, he just said it, and for now, he's not using it. And it looks like he won't use it. He doesn't have to, because negotiations for the arrangement of talks are underway. In the meantime, uh, hundreds of thousands of refugees from Ukraine, families mostly, have made a long queue towards Poland. And on the videos, it's apparent that there are parents um, pitifully holding the arm or the hand of their children um, as they walk going towards Poland, following a long line of vehicles. Why? Maybe they lost their vehicle. And that's really pathetic because it's a long way. But it does look like they have no other option. That's why they're walking. You see this toddler, maybe 2 years old or maybe less, walking with his father, clutching a bag, and the father has a backpack, and maybe that's all they got left. It's possible that had left their home, whatever home they had, and that's all their belongings, and they're going to a land that is not their own, to a future that is uncertain. They're gonna get there without any job. Okay, Now, we don't know if they still have money. All right, if they have money in the bank, fine. But how sure are you that they're gonna get their money back? All right, or it's gonna take a long time. All right, whatever it is, it's a pitiful sight to see families uh, rushing to Poland, and some are jumping into trains, and there is uh, a near stampede uh, situation, which required security guards to fire in the air to set a warning not to create a stampede in order to restore order. And you can imagine that. That's really horrible. You don't want to have a part of it. You don't want to experience it. Neither do you want others to go through something like that, right? But it is happening, right? Okay. So this part about Germany, uh, Germany has a main source of oil and gas, okay, and that is Russia. All right. So Germany cannot poo-poo Russia or deal harshly with Russia because that would endanger Germany's supply of gas and oil. Right? Germany cannot survive without that. So you can see why Germany must be treating Russia with feathers and cotton buds. All right. However, the United States and other allies have instituted sanctions against Russia by prohibiting access to more than 100 banks. All right, and and of course that the idea is to cripple uh, the flow of financing, the flow of funds to Russia, and that should impact adversely uh, Russia's logistics, which would also influence the course, the direction of the war, all right? Which also tells us that the U.S. and the West are not likely to go into war uh, with with Russia. They're avoiding that because they don't know where it could end up. Yes, naturally, uh, if they send, let's say, uh, 500,000 troops to Ukraine, that's sending a signal that they are increasing the tension and um, magnifying the war, which isn't their intention, all right? Any least bit their intention. No, far from it. And however it may look like the U.S. is uh, shivering or with fear, with its tail is right between its legs. It could look like that, especially under the leadership of Biden, who looks sheepish and talks like a sheep. But it could be a step of wisdom because, first of all, it is sending a message: no, Russia, we're not going to war with you, against you, right? So don't have any foolish ideas. But we are going to counter what you're doing, which you should expect from us, right? And of course, this is my grandson, Caleb. He just came near and he wants to play. now, uh, now, um, where were we? So we were talking about Biden's move, and so on the part of Russia, Russia is saying that it was necessary for Russia to take that move to attack and invade Ukraine because Ukraine was bent or seen to have uh, been advancing towards the likelihood of joining the NATO. And already, a netizen had said that in the past, since 1990 or so, NATO had made 5 waves of advances in Europe. And we can talk about that later. 5 waves of advances, which threaten uh, Russia, and that's why Putin feels that way. All right. Now let's talk about this Russian soldier who texted his mom. He must be young, but he said as he was texting, he was already in Ukraine, and he said he was afraid. He said, I'm afraid, mom." He said they were hitting even civilian targets, and some civilians were getting in the way of tanks, and even to the degree that the tanks rolled over their bodies. Yeah, and it said he didn't like the idea. All right, yeah. Okay, go ahead first. I'm gonna get settled with this. All right.
Can you help me because it's gonna take so much time for me to work on that.
Okay, come here,
So
come
can
here.
you help me?
Yeah, okay. You tell my friends here who are listening. Come here, come here. Tell them if you can get me out for a while to help you. Okay.
Can
Tell
I
them, hey,
get? Ah,
okay, say there, there. Hello there. You say.
hello there.
Oh, then you tell them what you want.
What you want?
Yeah, tell them. Tell them. You say what? What do you want?
I want my Papa to help me build a racetrack because with pillows because it's gonna take me much time for me. I'm gonna sweat.
I see. Okay.
That's why I called you.
Okay. All right. Now you heard it. You heard it first on Mukamo. I'll be right back. All right. In the meantime, we'll end this first, and I'm gonna come back uh, shortly. All right. We don't know what time, but I'm gonna come back and share with you again on Mukamo. Remember that. Hey, by the way, you can see that. Say subscribe. Subscribe. Hit subscribe, and then you see the bell. Hit the bell. It will help us spread the word. Amen. All right. So hit the bell. Hit subscribe. Okay. And that's it for now. Then uh, expect our coming back on this same channel. Yes, in the meantime, keep safe.
Hey, Papa.
Okay, I'm closing.